Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's devotion for December 10th. Today's devotion is titled Grace at the End. Today's Bible reading is from Mark chapter 5, verses 25 to 34. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she had spent everything she had to pay them, but she had gotten no better. In fact, she had gotten worse. She had heard about Jesus, so she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought to herself, if I can just touch his robe, I will be healed. Immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible condition. Jesus realized at once that healing power had gone out from him, so he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" His disciples said to him, "Look at this crowd pressing around you. How can you ask who touched me?" But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. Then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell to her knees in front of him and told him what she had done. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over." Artist Doug Murky's masterful sculpture, Ruthless Trust, features a bronze human figure clinging desperately to a cross made of walnut wood. He writes, "It's a very simple expression of our constant and appropriate posture for life. Total, unfettered intimacy with and dependency on Christ and the gospel." That's the kind of trust we see expressed in the actions and words of the unnamed woman in Mark 5, 25 to 34. For 12 years her life had been in shambles. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had, yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. But having heard about Jesus, she made her way to him, touched him, and was freed from her suffering. Have you come to the end of yourself? Have you depleted all your resources? Anxious, hopeless, lost, distressed people need not despair. The Lord Jesus still responds to desperate faith. The kind displayed by this suffering woman and depicted in Murky's sculpture. This faith is expressed in the words of hymn writer Charles Wesley. "Father, I stretch my hands to thee, no other help I know." Don't have that kind of faith? Ask God to help you trust him. Wesley's hymn concludes with this prayer. "Author of faith, to thee I lift my weary, longing eyes. Oh, may I now receive that gift. My soul without it dies." When have you desperately clung to Christ? How did God meet your need? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.